Hello everyone, today I'm gonna do the tutorial for the square. I'm using this yarn from Loops and Thread multicolor, and this is the granny square we'll be working on. So it's start with a circle and then you will make a square. To start, we're gonna make a circle, but I will use 4 chains and then attach the 4 chains to make that circle. Some people use magic circle, but I prefer this as an option. 4 chains and then attach by taking it inside that space and then make a loop. It's called slip stitch. And then you're gonna do 3 chains and then go to the same space, which is in the middle of the circle, and make double crochet. So we're going to be making 12 double crochets, including the 3 chains we made in the beginning. So I'm going to go ahead and make 12 double crochets, actually 11 double crochets, because the 3 chains count as 1 double crochet. Just go ahead and make those double crochets until you have 12, and then we will attach them, the last one, to make the circle. So double crochet is like we count, make sure we have enough, and then that's how it works. So you go inside that middle of the circle you created, yarn over, go in, pull through, and then pull through 2, pull through 2. So that's a double crochet. I'm going to count again just to make sure I have 12. So another one. Just make sure you have 12, including the 3 chains. To attach, you go to the number 3 chain and then make a slip stitch. So that's your circle there. For the next row, so we're going to go between each double crochet inside that space. I moved the yarn to go inside the space, 2 chains, yarn over, and then pull through 2, and then pull through 2. And then 1 chain in between. We're going to do it again, yarn over, pull, you have pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2, and then now you have 3 loops on your hook, pull through all 3, and then 1 chain. So you're going to repeat that. So this is called incomplete double crochet. So we're going to do 2 incomplete double crochets, and then we have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3, 1 chain in between. So again, repeating until you have 12. Make sure you have 1 chain in between, and then until you have 12, and then you attach to make a circle. This pattern creates this pattern creates a small petals, like a very tiny petals, 2 incomplete double crochets together, and then 1 chain in between. So you're going to complete all those until you reach the end. Here I have reached the end, and I'm going to show you how to attach. The same as the first row. So the 3, remember for this one we started with 2 chains. So we're going to go on top of those 2 chains and make a slip stitch. Okay, and now we're going to go to the next space, do another slip stitch just to start the next row. This is our second row. The next row we're going to make petals, but these are larger petals. So start with 3 chains. 1, 2, and 3. Incomplete double crochets. We have 4 on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. So as long as we have 4 strands, and then in between we have 2 chains. Go to the next one, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're gonna do it 4 times. Pull through 2, and now we have 5 on the hook, pull through all 5, and then you have 2 chains in between. These are larger petals. Same concept, incomplete double crochets. And then if you want to have a bigger petal, larger looking petal, you can have more of those strands. So for this one, we'll make sure we have 4 strands, which will be 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 5, and then 2 chains in between. So you complete this row. This is our 3rd row. We complete. We will have 12 petals for the 3rd row. 12 petals, and then we have 2 chains between each petal. Between the petals, we'll have 2 chains. And then the next one, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We do it 4 times. 5 loops, pull through all 5, 2 chains. And then continue doing this until you reach the end. Here I'm at the end of that 3rd row. I have 12 petals. Count, make sure you have done it correctly. 2 chains in between, and then I'm gonna go to the first 3 chains I made. I'm gonna go to number 3 and make a slip stitch. And then I'll go to the next space to start my 4th row. So you can do the same thing if you want a bigger circle, but for this one I'm making 3 rows. So I made 3 rows of circles. Now I'm going to make it into a square. To make it into a square, I'm going to start with the corner of the square. So 3 chains, 1 double crochet, and then another double crochet, which will be 3, 2 chains to the same space, 3 double crochets, 2 and 3. This is how you create the corner for the square. So go to the same space, 3 double crochets, 2 chains, and 3 double crochets, and then 1 chain. Go to the next, 3 double crochets, and then 1 chain. Go to the next space, and then make 3 double crochets, 1 chain. You can see the corners create. We will see the corner that is going to be showing better when we do the next corner. So this is our next corner. 2 chains, and then go to the same space, and 3 double crochets. So each corner will have 3 double crochets, 2 chains, and then 3 double crochets in the same space. So that's our next corner. So we'll have 4 corners because it's a square. And then in between there are 2 spaces. In those 2 spaces, we just do 3 double crochets and 1 chain in between. So we continue. This is our 4th row. That will be showing at the end. We'll have a square instead of circle. So we made the circle into a square this way. So 1 chain in between those clusters. The clusters are 3 double crochets together in 1 space. So we're going to make another cluster in the same space. Trying to move the yarn so I can do it better. And now we're going to create the corner again, the 3rd corner of the square. And then done, and then we're going to go to the next part. So that was the 3rd corner, and then just continue doing the same until you reach the end. So between the corners there are 2 spaces. You do a cluster, 1 chain, another cluster in the next space, and 1 chain. You can see the corner is created, and same thing, just repeat the spaces, a cluster and a chain. So that's my corner again. So I'm going to do 2 chains and then go to the same space and have 3 double crochets, then 1 chain, go to the next, 3 double crochets, yes. So that's the next corner. So we're getting to the end of our square, so we'll be attaching. So make sure you have those 1 chains in between the clusters. Yes, and 1, 2, 3, and 1 chain. Now we're going to attach. Our square is done. Remember the 3 chains we made in the beginning. Go to number 3, yarn over, pull through the loop. This is slip stitch. This is our square and our 4th row. And then you can make more rows to make your square bigger. So for this one, I'm gonna do 2 more rows. Then for the next row, you're gonna be moving your yarn to the corner. Usually it's better to start from the corner, so I'm gonna go to a slip knot and another slip knot until slip stitch until I reach the corner, and I repeat the same. 3 chains, 2 double crochets, 2 chains, and then 3 double crochets in the same space. This is your 5th row, and you're just going to make your square larger. So when you get to this row, I don't usually do 1 chain between those clusters anymore because our square is getting larger, so you don't need to have those 1 chains, but I've seen people still having them 1 chain between the cluster, which is okay. For me, I don't. So just do the cluster, go to each space, do the clusters, this row. Just do it until you reach the corner. Now we reach the corner, and then in the corners, just repeat the same. 3 double crochets, 2 chains, and then 3 double crochets for each corner. So in between you have 3 clusters this time because your square is getting larger. So 2 chains and then 3 double crochets in the same space. That is your corner. and repeat the same for each corner. We're going to do the same. The spaces is the same, clusters, and then go to the next space and then make another cluster. So that's how it looks. Go ahead and do the corners until you reach the end and complete this 5th row. Yeah, I'm at the end, and I'm just going to attach again, which is the same, the 3 chains we made in the beginning. Go to the chain number 3 and pull. So this is our square. So 5 rows. As you can see, I've made so many of these, but I made another row, which I'll show you. So these are the ones, because my yarn is multicolored, each square looks completely different with different colors. And this is the final look. I have added another row to that square just to create the border. It looks like a border, like a frame around it, and I used one color yarn only. And I've used the board just to make sure my square stays proper until I finish all the squares and I make a sweater. I'll make a sweater out of all these squares. So the one yarn color, you can use any color for the border. I've used blue for this one. And that would be the last row. So we're just gonna repeat the same thing, making our square larger, adding another row, but this time with just one color yarn only. Again, that's optional. You can continue with the same yarn, any other color yarn. Doesn't have to be the similar type of yarn. You can choose any yarn for the border. So that's the color I have chosen. Very similar to the colors, one color that is in the multicolor yarn, and I'm just gonna use it to make the border. So this is how we start again. The same thing as we did for the other rows. So I'm cutting the yarn, and then you can weave in your yarn so it doesn't come off. And weaving the yarn, I usually do it after I finish each square, so at the end I don't have lots of weaving to do. And then weave it through all those strands at the back of your work, and then cut it. So your work is neat. It looks neat from the back and the front as well. And then cut it. And then you can start your new yarn with your new yarn. Anything that you have there, just weave in, just to make sure it doesn't come off later on when you have a sweater. Pull it through all those little strands around and then cut the yarn. So that's the back of our work, and that's the front. So I'm gonna use this yarn to do the border. The last row for the square is the same thing. I usually start from a corner, doesn't matter, you can start from any corner. Pull that yarn through the space, corner space, the 2 chain space, and then make 3 chains. And yarn over, make a double crochet, another double crochet, and then 2 chains because it is a corner. 2 chains and 3 double crochets in the same corner space. We're not gonna have any chains. The square gets bigger, so you don't have the chain in the middle for the clusters. So the next space, a cluster, which is 3 double crochets, just making the yarn easy to use. Bring it on the table, and then 3 double crochets in each space, 3 double crochets in each space until you reach the corner. 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then we are at the corner. So 3 double crochets, 2 chains, and 3 double crochets, all in the same space, in the corner space. This is how you make your silk square larger and larger, just adding rows. You can make a blanket from starting the square. It can become a huge square and can become a blanket if you continue just adding rows. For this sweater that I'm planning to make, I decided to have this size. You can make the size bigger, so you will need less squares. So for this one, I'm planning to have 9 squares for the front of my sweater, 9 for the back, and then 6 of them for each sleeve. So I have to make a lot of these squares. And if you make larger squares, maybe you will need less to make a sweater or a cardigan out of it. So this is how it looks. Just add that around your last row, and in between each corners you have 4 now, 4 clusters. So corner, 4 clusters in between. That's your last row. So that's the end. So I'm going to show you how to attach, which is similar. I've attached it before, so I'm going to undo it and show you. Again, we go to the 3 chains we made. Go to number 3, yarn over, pull through, slip, stitch, cut your yarn, and weave it in at the back. So go to the back loop of that last chain you made, pull. You can see how clean it looks, and then weave it in through all these strands at the back of your work, and then cut your yarn. So I'm going to do a bit more weaving for this last one, just to make it more tight at the back so it doesn't come off. Pull and then cut your yarn. It looks very neat at the back, as you can see. There's fluff attached to my work. And then that's the front. So you can get these boards to attach your work, so your square looks a bit bigger and also stretches it, so it looks better, and it's easier to attach when you're ending. So I'm gonna put that on that board So you can decide the size of your board. You can purchase these boards on Amazon, any stores that sells yarns and arts and crafts supplies. Just put them through those spikes, and then there you go. That's how it's done. Make as many as you want, and then have them ready. After all your squares are ready, I'll post another video just to show you how to attach those squares to make a sweater.